welcome to Rise and Shine Yoga. It's another week, it's another class. Welcome, I'm glad you came. My name is Jen. If we haven't met before, we're going to spend the next 45 minutes doing just some nice, gentle stretching, perfect for beginning of the day, perfect for the middle of the afternoon, and perfect for right before bed. So even though it's a Rise and Shine, it's open for all, it's open for any time of the day. That's why we record it, so you can grab it whenever you want. Technically, the class goes live at midnight, so if you wanted to watch it at 1 in the morning on that Thursday, you're more than welcome. So to everyone, to all levels, and to all times. So get comfortable, get in the position of your choice. Nice deep breaths. Close your eyes, low gaze, shoulders back and down. You know the drill. So, and if you don't know the drill and you're like, Jen, I'm confused, can you let me know a little bit more information? I would love to talk to you privately. Just shoot me an email, put a comment below, Fitness at Miter, whatever you need. I'll help you out. See, we're all about lengthening the body. Okay, so I'm going to stay in this position that I am here. If you're in a different position, you can totally stay there, just as long as you're seated. If you are laying down, come to a seated position of your choice. And what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen the side body first, so nice and easy, up and over, shoulder on top of shoulder. So we're not leaning forward, not leaning back, just shoulder on top of shoulder. And let's do the other side. Same thing, up and over. And release. Now let's go back to the first way, and now let's lean forward a little bit. So I want you to lean forward, so we're really stretching this back side. So if we're leaning forward, we're really stretching that skin and that muscle on the side of the body. And release. Other way, so going over and then leaning forward. And then release, and I'm sure you know what's coming next. We're going over and leaning back. And then switch. Come over and then lean back. So how does it feel in your body, those three different motions, those side to side, in the front and in the back? And release. All right, let's let's just do little circles. Your circles will look different than mine, that's okay. Other way. And then come back to the center. All right, let's come into some cat-cows. So get there nice and slow. Pull my cuffs back. All right, so we're doing our cat-cows, and I'm gonna do my cat-cows with a little movement. So if you want to do your cat-cows with movement too, join me. Otherwise, full regular cat-cow, totally fine. And what I mean by that is we're gonna come up and arch, and come down and arch the other way. So we're a Halloween cat or a cow, and I like to add a little movement side to side, but that's totally optional. I like to go forward and back as well. So I like to go all through the motions. A little play, never hurt anybody, especially in a yoga class. And when you feel good, come down to those forearms and put that forehead on the mat. Glutes up in the air, puppy pose. Come back up nice and slow. All I want you to do is slide your left foot back, slide your right foot in. And we're gonna come back in and slide it out. So we're just coming in and just sliding up. So we're kind of doing bird dog, but we're kind of not. So everything's staying on the ground. And this is always a great option if we're doing bird dog and you don't want to add in that balance component. This is a great way to do it. All right, let's come out and hold it and really lengthen. Just keep those feet and those hands on the ground. And now I want you to come back, and I want you to switch it out. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then come back in. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. We're just going to bring one leg out to the side and the other arm up and over. Come back to the center. Switch it out. Other leg. And then other arm. And release. Come back to that first side. And instead of going up and over, I just want you to go straight up. You can look up towards that hand or not, your choice. And come on back. Other side. Leg. And then twist. Lengthen. And then come back in. Let's come into a down dog. First one of the day. We're not going to do too many today, but we're going to do one right now. Tuck those toes under. Pedal those feet. And then find some stillness. those feet in to meet the hands. Hang here for a couple seconds. And then nice and slow, come on up. I'm gonna take this off. Love the jacket, but the hood always gets in my way during yoga class. Okay, so we are up here. Everything's nice and wonderful. I'm kind of hitting the top of my frame, so I'm going to bump it up a little bit. But we're going to reach up and over. So start doing that. And then come back to center. And the other side. And back to center. This time we're going to go back to that first side, across that leg over. And then let's switch out, other side. We're going to take nice, big, deep breaths here. And then release. Turn sideways on our mat. Come to a nice flat back. So normally I would be here. That's where I just am. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to straighten out that back. I'm going to put my hands on my thighs. They can be here. I'm not holding on for dear life here, but they're here for support. I'm looking forward at the big, long, nice, beautiful neck here. And then I'm going to drop it down, relax. I'm going to do that 2 more times. I'm going to come up. Flatten that back, looking forward and or slightly down. Shoulders back and down. This might be hard to just be in. And then release. And then come on up one more time and hold. And then release it down. Bring those hands to the ground. Bring one foot back. Bring the other foot back and drop down to those knees. And just sit back and forth. And so when I'm pushing forward just a little bit more. So I'm getting a little stretch on my forearms. If that's too much, you don't have to do it. That's totally fine. Do one more. And then come back to tabletop. I'm just going to hold for a couple extra seconds in this forward position. And then release. All right, I'm going to bring one foot in front. And I'm going to roll up. Nice and tall. Make any adjustments that you need to make. Make sure that this hip and this knee are aligned. They're not going out in a diagonal. It's a nice straight line. And I'm going to bring my arms up. If that's too much, I can have them at heart center. That's fine. Can I turn one way? Can I do it? Back to the center. And I'm going to turn the other way. One's going to be challenging the other. That's okay. Back to the center. I'm going to do a little bitty back bend. And then release it down. All right, let's go back to our tabletop. Let's rock a little side to side this time. Okay, other side. Coming on up. Make sure we have a nice angle here. We're not off to the side. Arms up. Or if your other arms are in a different position on the other side, that's fine. Just match them up. Turn one way. Into center. And the other way. To center, and then a little back bend. And release. All right, come back to tabletop, and then sit back on those heels, shoulders back, smile twist. Other way. And then come back to center. Okay, so we're gonna go back into that position that we were just in. You can either do what we just did, or you can lift up on that back leg and do more of a higher foot position. So you decide what you want to do. All right, so let's get started here. So if you want to stay here, beautiful, please do. We're just gonna do that same thing, but we're just gonna have arms open. Or if you want to bump it up a little bit, activate a little bit more fire in those legs, we're going to tuck those back toes under and push ourselves up here. And if you need to bring your feet wider for support, totally fine. So before we had our hands up, now we're gonna have our hands out. And we're gonna turn one way. And then we're going to turn the other way. We're going to come back to the center. Bring those hands to the center. And then let's do a lower twist. Hold. Big breaths. Come back to the center. Arms up, little back bend, find your balance. Ooh. And then come on down, nice and slow. Shake it out, make any adjustments. And then we're gonna go to that same thing on the other side. So bring that foot in front. Decide where you wanna be. Do you wanna be here? Or do we want to tuck that back set of toes under and lift it on up? You get your support, and then arms come out. And we're going to twist one way. And we're going to twist the other way. We're going to come back to the center, bring those hands together. Lower into that twist. Lengthen that body. And then come back up. Catch your balance. Arm up. A little back bend. And then really sit down. Take a little breather here. Grab some water, great time. Roll those shoulders back and down, forward, all the way through. All right, we have one more round of something in that same genre. This time I'm gonna go back down to having my back knee on the ground. Obviously, if you wanna stay elevated, totally fine. But did one low, one high, now I'm going to go back to the low again. And if you decide that halfway through you want to drop to the low, join us, totally fine. All right, so we're kind of going to go. I'm bringing that knee in front. I'm deciding what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to go start with the other leg. Just so, actually, I'll do it. See, I'm doing the same leg. I'm just turning the other way so you can see me a little better. Okay. So I still have that leg forward. We're going to bring those arms out. And we're going to rotate to one side, like we did before. We're going to rotate to the other side, like before. We're going to come to the center, bring those hands together. We're going to do our twist. And now we're going to add on, we're going to open those arms up. So it's a lot easier here in this low back knee lowered. But if you want to add that heat, by all means, go for it. And this hand is not holding on for dear life, it's just there. And bring them back up, a little back bend. And release. All right, I'm going to turn back around. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. All right, so leg in front, knee bent, get your bearings, arms up, rotate, and rotate, come back to the middle, hands together, twist. Now we're ready to open it up. Come back through center. Arms up, a little back bend. And release it back. Okay, we're going to lay on our side. And we're going to do some side planks. So we're going to do 2 to each side. I'm going to do them on bent knees. If you want to do them straight legs or staggered feet, totally fine. You decide. I'm going to do one bent and one straight just to change it up, but you decide which one works best for you right now. Even if it worked for you yesterday, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you today. So your body is different all the time, every single day. So we're going to do 2 30-second counts, and it's just going to be me. Actually, no, I have a timer up there. We'll use a timer. We'll actually use a timer instead of me just counting to 30. Okay, so we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, lift those hips. And this top arm, I like to keep it up, but you can put it wherever you need to. And we're breathing. And we're going to do 2 each side, but we're going to do this side, rest, and do this side again, and then move on. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to recover. So if you need a break, take a break, do what you need to do, stretch it out, do your thing, totally cool. 30 seconds is a long time when you're in plank, but it's not a lot of time when you're out of plank. So we are going again in 10 seconds. So get yourself situated, decide how you're going to do it, the same, different. All I know is that this shoulder and this elbow need to be lined up. All right, let's begin. We have 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. All right, I'm going to grab my timer so I can see it from over on this side. Because heaven knows I want to make sure that we're doing the total 30 seconds like we're supposed to be. All right, so that same thing, just on the other side. All right. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up with length. Breathe. Shoulder on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. Four, three, two, one. Drop down. Open up. Stretch it out. Catch your breath. Move around. And how are you going to do version number 2, round number 2? That starts in 10 seconds. All right, get yourself ready. Get yourself set and lift it on up. Halfway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Beautiful. All right, pop this back over here. All right. So let's come back into tabletop. And let's go into downward dog again. How about that? Let's lengthen the downward dog again. So how does this downward dog here feel compared to that first one we did? Hopefully you're a little looser, a little longer, a little more comfortable in this posture. And remember, while my feet are about shoulder width apart, they can 100% be wider to make room for your body in your space. If you feel comfortable having those hips wider, those feet wider, do it. And then walk those hands to meet the feet. And we're going to roll it nice and slow towards the back end of the mat. Glutes hit the wall, that's okay. I'd much rather have my glutes hit a physical wall than a metaphorical wall, so totally fine. All right, let's turn sideways on our mat. We're going to do a little calf work. We haven't done that in a little while. So, we're going to do is just basic squats. Just hands on our hips, hands on our thighs, whatever. Just don't push up when you're coming up. Your hands can be here, just don't use this as a cheat mechanism. So, we're coming down, and we're going up. When we get down to the bottom, we're going to hold it for about a second. And then come up nice and fluid. If you want to add on, when we come up, we're going to come up on one calf. Coming up, or one set of toes. Activating that calf. One more time like that. And then we're just going to leave one foot up. So let's just leave this foot up. And we're going to go down and up. If you need to step in a little bit to make it more comfortable, that's fine. But most of our weight is here on this other leg. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think you know what's coming up next. Other foot. And if this is too much, you could have both the heels in the ground. Totally fine. Three, 2, 1. Come up. All right, we're ready to have both heels up. You can either have both heels up or neither heel up. Totally fine. I'm just going to strengthen just a little bit. Up on those toes. Nice, beautiful lengthened legs. Even if they're down, they're still beautiful. And left. Hold her a second at the bottom. Come back up. Hold for a second at the bottom. Come back up. 8 more. Three, 2, 1. All right, drop those feet. Shake it out. Come to mountain. Shoulders back and down. You can have your hips nice and rest and loose. Your feet about hip width apart. And just drop that head. And lengthen the side of the neck. Other side. Center, drop it down in front. And come up and point that chin forward. Really stretch it all here, lengthen it all in here. And then release and literally just shake it up. Noodle the arms. And then lower. I'm going to turn sideways, so I'm facing, or turning back, so I'm facing the front of my mouth. Look at that. Look at that back. That's not straight. Is that anywhere near straight? No, it's not. Straighten that back. Come down. One foot back, the other foot back. And then nice and slow, lowering to the ground. Beautiful. Come into your Sphinx. Take a few breaths. Cooling it down. Bend those knees, move around those ankles. Let's windshield wiper those feet side to side. And let them drop to one side and hold. The other side and hold. Come back to the center, drop those feet. And let's come back into puppy posture one more time. So when I have those hands, push myself back. Forearms on the ground, forehead on the ground, glutes and hips in the air. This should feel beautiful. All right, release that. Push yourself back up. So you're sitting on your heels. Bring those hands behind you and lift those hips. Activate those quads. Look up towards the ceiling. And come on up. All right, so I'm going to have one arm in front and the other arm just going to be hanging out in back. And all I'm going to do is bring that arm around, half circle, around, half circle. 2 more like that. Around, half circle, around, half circle. Other side. Let's go around and back. Around one big one. So we're just going to do, I need to sneeze. Pardon. All right, so we're going to bring that arm in front. We're going to go around, and then we're going to go around, and we're going to go the other way. Around and around. Two more big ones. Around and around. One more. Around and around. Beautiful. Roll it on up. Let's roll. Come onto our back. So if you need anything for Shavasana, grab it now so you have it with you when you're laying on your back. And this is also a great time to grab some water really quick. So we're not there just yet, but we're getting close. All right, on our backs. Bring those knees to like a tent. So knees to touch, feet flare out. So we're doing like this. Now you can either completely stay here and have a grand old time just relaxing, enjoying, living the life. Otherwise, our hands are going to be down by our side. We're going to keep those legs in the position that they're in. We're going to lift them up and down. So we're activating that core. So it's like a reverse crunch, but those knees are touching and the feet are out versus other positions like a frog where we're doing the exact opposite. All right, so let's lift up and down. Squeeze in that core into the mat. If you want to put your hands on the belly to feel the activation, it's amazing how wonderful our muscles are. Make sure we're releasing before we start up again. And I have no idea how many we're doing, so we're going to do 4 more and just call it. So we're going to go 4. Two. And 1. Wonderful. Put those hands behind the head. Open up those elbows. Bring those feet together and drop those knees to one side. Back up through center. I want you to switch which arm is underneath. So I have a default arm. I'm going to switch out. And then drop those knees to the other side. And come up through center. Grab those knees. Give them a big squeeze. You would have them be apart or together. Ever feels good. And you can definitely change it up. We're doing like happy baby with just their knees instead of their feet. So same concept. Just kind of play. Bring them in. Bring them out. One final just bit of movement before we go into our Shavasana. So if there's something your body is craving, please do it now. I feel like doing some circles with the hip. All right, and when you are ready, let's Shavasana it. All right, so we have 3 minutes together. And then we'll end class together sitting up. So, not there yet. Don't knock over your water. Big deep breaths. Pull those shoulders back in. Relax those legs, those hips. put the tongue to the roof of your mouth. I know you know all this, but it's nice to just, it's a reminder of things to do. You have a lot to think about, a lot going through your head. The last thing you think about is the placement of your tongue. All right, let's really start to wiggle that body. Put your hands on your belly and just feel breath in, breath out. Bend one knee, bend the other knee, drop them to the side. Give yourself a big hug. Remind yourself how awesome you are. And then push yourself up to a seated position. All right, give yourself a big hug here. Look down. And let's do 3 big lion's breaths. So that means making your mouth and face as big as you can and really letting go of any tension that you're holding in your jaw and your forehead and your temples, any of that jazz, okay? So what my suggestion is to you is to look down and make those faces into your own lap, so it's not, even though obviously I can't see you regardless, is there anyone else in the room that's a little, I don't really want to do that, just do it down here, no one will see you, okay? So 3. And reset. And reset. Last one. And release. Thank you so much for coming to Rise and Shine. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time.